Hi, I'm Bess.
And I'm Raphael.
And we are Two Peas in the Kitchen.
In today's video, we're going to show you how to make 3 easy and delicious salad dressings. The first is a champagne vinaigrette, and then we'll make an Italian red wine vinaigrette and a honey white balsamic vinaigrette.
As always, we will share time-saving tips and tricks to help home cooks make easy, elegant eats.
If this sounds like exactly what you need, hit that subscribe button and join us in the fun.
All right.
So why make your own salad dressings? There's a number of reasons. First of all, the ones that we're going to show you today are just absolutely delicious. You won't want to buy any jarred dressing ever again. Second of all, they're super easy to make. They barely take minutes to make. Third of all, we have no preservatives, no added artificial thickeners, and no processed sugars added. A lot of the salad dressings have excessive sugars in there. They can have high fructose corn syrup and a host of other stuff that we don't want.
Okay, we are going to start with a delicious, very fresh citrus champagne vinaigrette. One of the things that Raphael and I like to do is we like to use mason jars to make our salad dressing. This is a really, really amazing, easy peasy tip. The entire dressing is done in a jar, and we've gone ahead and purchased these leak-proof lids for the mason jars. There's a link down below where you can get these for yourself. They're great because you can just put it right on the mason jar and shake them. They don't leak, and that's a great way to store them too because they're airtight. So for this, we're gonna start out with, just like we've talked about in some of our other videos, because salad dressing doesn't have very many ingredients in it, it's really, really important to use high quality ingredients. You just cannot skimp on anything you cook where there's only only a few ingredients. So we're gonna start here with 2 tablespoons of this citrus champagne vinegar. You can also just use any champagne vinegar, but this one is extra delicious if you can find one that has a little citrus in it. So we're gonna start with 2 tablespoons, and I'm just pouring this directly right into our mason jar. So it's also easy peasy cleanup because we're not using a lot of different bowls or anything. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use 2 tablespoons. This is fresh squeezed orange juice. Please use fresh squeezed. I assure you it makes a total difference. You cannot do this with orange juice from concentrate. So we're gonna add in 2 tablespoons of fresh squeezed orange juice, and boy, that's already very fragrant. That smells delicious. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a tablespoon of honey. In this recipe, you could also use a tablespoon of maple syrup. I'm partial to honey, and I think all of these salad dressings you actually could swap out honey and maple syrup, but I really prefer them with honey. So here we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of honey. We'll let that kind of drip in there. And our next ingredient is gonna be a 1/2 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. I just washed my hands, so that's and our 1/2 teaspoon. Again, use a high quality Dijon mustard. Of course, Grey Poupon is the benchmark for that. So put in a 1/2 teaspoon of our Dijon mustard. And then our last ingredient is just a heaping 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. I'm gonna put that in there. And those are our main ingredients. And we're gonna get ready to add our last ingredient, the olive oil.
Next, all we have left is the olive oil. So we're using California Olive Ranch. This is a really great olive oil, or just use your favorite olive oil that you like to use every day. Before I add the olive oil, I do want to talk about why we add mustard, Dijon mustard, to our salad dressings. The reason we add Dijon mustard is that the mustard will help emulsify your salad dressing. So what does that mean? So water and oil don't mix. So, you know, it's just basic chemistry. They do not mix. They don't like to be together. So in order to make them friendly and mingle and stay together, we add our Dijon mustard. So we're going to add a 1/4 cup of our extra virgin olive oil. Don't use anything else. Okay, a 1/4 cup, and actually, I forgot one thing. I'm gonna put this down. We're gonna shake it up first. Put our lid on, and again, these are leak-proof, they're great. Give it a nice shake. Okay. We pour our olive oil in. All right. And then give it another good shake, and you're done. It's beautiful too. Easy peasy tip number 2 is that you can store these salad dressings safely on your counter, your kitchen counter, for up to 3 days. You can make it the night before, you can make it the morning of, whenever you're planning on using it, and that's all. Next, we're going to make our Italian red wine vinaigrette. So we're going to start off with our fresh garlic. It's optional, you don't have to use it, but I like garlic in everything. I'm Italian, and I put it in a lot of things, so I'm going to add it to our salad dressing. If you don't like garlic, you don't have to put it in. Okay, so 2 cloves of garlic, and you can use any of your kitchen contraptions to remove the skin off of the garlic. I'm just going to use the flat end of our knife and give it a good smash. And I like to cut off the hard end of the garlic. And then I'm just going to take our garlic mincer and put our 2 cloves in, and it's going to go right in our mason jar. Our garlic, and then we'll go on and add the rest of our ingredients.
Okay, so we already have our minced garlic in our mason jar, so we're going to keep going with this recipe. The next thing we're going to add is 3 tablespoons of high quality red wine vinegar. Oh, you can really smell that garlic. It smells amazing. Next, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. We're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt and 1/4 teaspoon of freshly cracked black pepper. The last ingredient, which we really like to add, is optional in this dressing, and that's honey. I think it really cuts the acidity from the vinegar and the strength of the garlic in the dressing, so I like to add it. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of honey, but like I said, that is optional. This is a very versatile dressing.
Okay, so next we're just going to put the lid on, give it a good shake. Let everything mix up before we add our olive oil. I can see the garlic in there. So next we're going to add 1/3 of a cup of our extra virgin olive oil, and then that'll be it for this salad dressing. Put our lid on, give it a good shake, and it's done.
Okay, finally, we are actually going to make my personal favorite of these 3 dressings. I make this salad dressing all the time. It is absolutely delicious. This is our Honey White Balsamic Vinaigrette. So for this one, you're going to use a white balsamic vinegar. You can find this at most grocery stores. Sometimes it's a little hard to find. Again, like I'm always harping on, it has to be a high quality vinegar. So we're going to add 3 tablespoons of white balsamic to our mason jar. And then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of honey. Next, we're going to add a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. This is a really simple dressing. Then we're just going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of fresh cracked, oops, that wasn't quite a 1/4 teaspoon, fresh cracked pepper, and that's all of our main ingredients.
Next we're going to give it a good shake, and then we're going to add our extra virgin olive oil. Okay, that's good. And this recipe calls for 1/3 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil. Throw that in the jar. Give it a good shake. And we're done with all 3 of our dressings. Now we're going to taste them.
Okay, so just a quick reminder of our easy peasy tip on these dressings. All 3 of these dressings can be made well in advance. They are all really special. They're really gonna be a total game changer for any dinner that you're having or a lunch, anything that you're doing with salad. It makes a huge difference because we were talking about early, a salad really is all about the dressing. So we have our Italian red wine vinaigrette, our champagne vinaigrette, and our honey white balsamic vinaigrette. We're gonna give them a final shake and taste them.
Give them a good shake and taste them. And remember, these keep well for up to 3 days on your kitchen counter.
Sometimes if I'm going to use these dressings and I know that I'm having a bunch of people, I might double it and then I have enough for my dinner and then I have more for the next couple of days because they're so delicious and they keep so well. So
it smells so good.
Oh, they all smell amazing. Do you have a favorite?
I think I do, but I'm gonna wait until we taste them.
After we taste test them. First we're gonna taste test our
red wine.
Our Italian red wine vinaigrette. Oh, it is so good. It's very garlicky.
Delicious.
Just like
Perfect.
Raphael loves. This is a really great dressing on a romaine salad. It also works really well on a Greek salad, which I know that's a very popular thing to do. This is delicious with feta cheese in a salad.
And if you want it more garlicky, you can make it ahead of time and maybe let it sit a day, and the garlic will infuse your dressing a little bit more.
Next,
that's yummy.
We are going to try this is our champagne vinaigrette. Oh, it smells so good. You can really smell the citrus. Oh, it's delicious. It's really delicious. So this is actually a really great dressing that mixes really well. If you put a little blue cheese in a salad with this dressing, it's really delicious. It would also be really nice on a salad with strawberries or beets we were just talking about. Would be really delicious.
You can marinate, you can actually marinate your cooked beets in this for a while and really infuse that citrus flavor.
It's got a really, really nice citrus scent to it. So that is our champagne vinaigrette. And this is our honey white balsamic vinaigrette. That is delicious. So this dressing is actually I think I mentioned, this is actually my favorite salad dressing. I use this all the time. And my favorite salad with this dressing is to use mixed greens or arugula with fresh summer peaches, this dressing, some almonds, and some goat cheese. And it is an amazing salad. This is it's also a really nice brunch dressing. We've used this before.
Nice and light.
On our brunch salads. It's really delicious.
I think my favorite's this one. But they're all great.
They're all great. They're all really delicious.
We hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you've tried making these vinaigrettes, make sure you leave us a comment down below to let us know what you think. The link to the blog posts are included in the description below for your reference.
And also, please join our pod, subscribe to our channel, and continue to join us on all of our cooking adventures. We look forward to seeing you the next time. Bye.
Bye for now.